Slinging Dirt with Staley, an in-depth conversation with the drivers themselves about the inner workings of a dirt track racer's world. Dive deep under the helmet and inside the mind of the people who ride the high side, lift that left front wheel, and teeter on the edge of being out of control. New Slinging Dirt with Staley starts now. How's it going, everybody? I'm Alan Staley, and this is Slinging Dirt with Staley. On this week's show, the champ is here. I'm joined by the 6-time ASCS Warrior Region points champion from Sedalia, Missouri, driver of the Kiowa Line Builders, Starline Brass, Peak Performance, Searsboro Telephone Company, Bryant Motors, Impact Signs, Boffman Feeds, Champion Brands, number 28, Jonathan Cornell. Jonathan opens up about the importance of a great pit crew, why not thinking behind the wheel is sometimes the best thought process, where his motivation comes from, plus an extended Mount Rushmore of racing, and more on an all-new Slinging Dirt with Staley, starting right about now.
You know, I actually started probably when I was about the age of 2. My father raced go-karts when he was younger, and then at that point, after he had me, you know, we'd just always been a racing-affiliated family. So 2 years old was my first time ever experiencing the Knoxville Nationals.
Wow.
So we took up there, and I've been there ever since. I've never missed the Knoxville Nationals, which is pretty incredible. But, you know, he bought me a four-wheeler when I was 2, which is actually gas-powered, believe it or not. And then I got a go-kart when I was 6 years old. Started racing motorcycles when I was 7. And then shortly after racing motorcycles, I got back into the go-kart, raced it. Won nationals, kind of progressed through go-karts, went to mini sprints, and happened to win nationals in that as well.
Yep.
My parents decided that, you know, they'll keep supporting me as long as I'm happy, having fun, and succeeding at that point in time too. So after we won the mini sprint nationals, we're kind of branching out, and trying to find something to do with the sprint car, because that's really what my ultimate dream was to drive a sprint car. And luckily for me, I was actually seeking sponsorships one year. And from Rick Yeager at Yeager Cycles here in Sedalia, and he told me about a gentleman named Chuck Fortune who won the points championship at LA Raceway. Well, he just had his shoulder operated on, so he was looking for a driver for his car, and happened to call him. Went up there on a Wednesday night, kind of got fitted, practiced on Friday night, and raced on Saturday. And he gave me a shot, and believe it or not, we won our first sprint car. His first time ever in a sprint car. So
that's impressive.
Yeah,
that is very impressive.
Yeah, so it's a really cool story. You know, he started 6th row inside and won the race, and then I went on to finish in racing for him that year. We won 10 races that year in the points championship. And he kind of realized that he had more fun watching me race and wrenching on the car and owning it than he did racing himself. So the following year, he raced for him and won the championship again. And then after that, we went our separate ways. I wanted to progress to the 360. And he didn't really have the budget to do that, so we branched out and started racing 360 sprint cars, and that's where I'm at today.
Why the number? Is there any big significance to the 28?
Yeah, and there actually is. You know, just going with that story, so Chuck Fortune, the car that we had, his number was 28F. And the 2 and the 8 were both his kids' birthdays. So I kept 28 because it kind of related with all of our fans socially. You know, they recognize the 28 as a number. And fortunately for me, you know, not too many people have the number 28 in this country. So
there is.
Anywhere I go, I don't have to add a letter. But yeah, it definitely goes back to Chuck Fortune, my car owner that had that. It goes back to his kids' birthdays, and I just I stuck with it. And it seems like it's been a pretty good lucky number for us.
I'd say it's paid off a lot. What's your typical mindset like on a race day? Are you pretty relaxed? Are you anxious and ready to go? Where does your mind wander to?
You know, it's actually probably changed over the years. I used to be super amped up and, you know, ready and really nervous actually. And then to this point now, you know, it's just as I'm getting older, just staying relaxed, you know, kind of just chill at my apartment. Well, especially with the summer heat too. So I don't like getting to the track too early.
Yeah, anymore. I understand that.
We kind of hang out and, you know, not even really focus primarily on racing on race day until we get to the track. I sort of let that vibe kind of hit me, and then whenever it gets to it, we just kind of go in motion through there and just do our thing. You know, we
get focused.
All of our crew members, you know, Chad, Chad Fiddler, my father. Everybody has their place at the track, so we get there and everybody kind of just starts going in motions and just wherever it takes us through the rest of the night.
Do you have any race day ritual? I know some people don't wear green, some don't wear deodorant. Do you have anything that...
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to wear deodorant.
That's a good thing.
But no rituals really, you know, for whatever reason. Like if I stop at a gas station, I'm usually get a Red Bull energy drink, a Snickers candy bar, and some beef jerky chew. So I don't know if that's really a ritual or not. It's just one of those things that it's whenever I'm driving the truck to the track, it's just something to snack on the way to the track. But Yeah, no rituals usually. Just usually try to get there and get the job done.
These 360, the sprint cars, they're dangerous, and the sport that we're in, it's something that you think about. How do you deal with that internal fear? Do you think about it? Is it in the back of your mind? Do you just push it out of the way?
We try not to think about it. Like every racer will probably tell you that too.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't want to think about that stuff before you get on the track. But I've had some close friends that's been seriously injured in race cars, and I've had some accidents. Where it's thankfully nothing serious, but I have been hurt, and obviously gets super expensive too. So we never really want to think about those accidents or any of those things occurring, and we try to avoid them. But luckily for us, at this day and age, we have so many people out there that have these new safety innovations between seats and helmets and seat belts and fire seats. Like, we can't thank them enough, and you can never put a price on safety.
Right.
And, honestly, I feel more comfortable crashing in my race car at 120 mile an hour than I would in 35 mile an hour in a passenger vehicle.
Regular car. Average week during the race season, how much time do you spend working on the car, going over it, just making sure it's ready for the next week?
Believe it or not, I used to spend hours upon hours after work from 5 o'clock at night till 11 o'clock at night. I've been fortunate enough to have a close friend of mine, Chad Cypher. He's my crew chief now. He helps us out at I'm really busy at our powder coat shop, but he'll help us out at the powder coat shop, and then he works on the race cars throughout the week. So it's really opened me up to dedicate myself more to my financial future, which is my business.
Right.
And it's growing tremendously right now, so which is a great thing. So I can't put any emphasis on the guys that come over during the week and help us out on the shop. So for anyone that wants to go out there and start racing, it is a second full-time job.
Yeah,
so
it truly is.
If you want to be at a high level when you're winning races and be successful, then you really definitely have to dedicate yourself and make time for it, which is tough to do, but definitely thankful to have the people I have helping me out.
Where does the motivation come from? I mean, you talked about how many hours you spent, you talk about the crew members and things like that. Weekends spent away, the out-of-pocket expenses takes its toll, it adds up. Why do it?
It's just the support from not just my family, but a lot of my sponsors and friends too. So, I always dreamed about racing a sprint car, so I feel like I fulfilled my dream. So right now it's just like, what level do I want to take it to?
Right.
But at the same token, my family enjoys going to the races so much. My friends enjoy supporting me so much. My sponsors enjoy supporting me so much that not that I owe them anything, or I owe them a lot. But you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it to owe them anything. It's just like I have so much enjoyment with everybody there on the weekends, everybody being together. And that means a lot to me, because if I wasn't racing, we'd all be at a dinner table someplace just bitching at each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you talk about your family, your friends, your sponsors that are all there at the track, and it does motivate you. But is there ever a sense of an added pressure to it with having your sponsors there and the sponsors that you do have, the fans that you do have? I mean, they're Cornell crazies. There's a lot of places.
Cornell crazy, they get crazy, So we try to go out there and do the best we can, but. To add to that, originally we were fighting. We wanted to impress people. We wanted to impress our sponsors. We want to help them out. We still do to this day.
I'd say.
Yeah, and right now we have such a close relationship with all of our supporters. So win or lose, they're always standing behind us, and that's something I think that I'm really proud of building. Just a close relationship between my sponsors, my family, and everything. So I want to go out there and continue to impress. I want to go out there and continue to win.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we have such a good group that knows what we're capable of doing, and if it doesn't pan out that weekend, then they completely understand how it goes.
Do you ever get a sense of clarity behind the wheel, or is everything happening too fast to even comprehend? Like, you're sitting behind the wheel, going through lap traffic. Is it just react, or do you see things happening like, okay, I need to be here, I need to be here? You don't have to give away too many trade secrets if you want.
No, it's not even about tricks. I think that's just something with me starting to race at a young age, developing these traits. And a lot of people, I think I was given a gift that for me being behind the wheel and not have to think about it too much, because I do know before every race I'm always thinking about my line. I'm thinking about what I'm going to do as soon as the green flag drops, and it never pans out that way.
Yeah, everybody can have a plan. Exactly. It's going to change when
there's way too many variables on the track for you to know that. But I think that just over the years I've adapted a trait that it's helped me be able to move around the track and kind of see cars and kind of judge where they're going. Typically, you can never be 100%, but that's definitely helped out. And then having a race car that's drivable. So going back to my crew, they get the car spot on for me, where I feel like I can race the bottom or the top almost any night of the week, and that's something that a lot of people don't have.
Have you ever had a moment behind the wheel where you just thought, I don't know, like your scariest wreck or the biggest wreck? How did you
every weekend?
how do you overcome that? Is it just strap in, let's go, let's do it right now?
So really, for me, as soon as we strap in and go, like that's the most nervous part about it, just waiting. I hate on the racetrack and waiting. I hate being in the car waiting. So as soon as the green flag drops, really a lot of those things just go out the window. You know, you don't know that it's 110 degrees outside. You don't recognize the sweat that's coming from you. You don't get out of breath until caution or red flag comes out. So for me, the biggest the thought process is when a caution happens or a red flag happens, then I start, like we go back to where you can almost overthink certain situations. Just you know, I just kind of wait and say go out and do your thing, and then you're running fine. And again, I go back to my crew too. They help me under the yellows and reds. They'll tell me I'm doing great, or I need to change my lineup a little bit. Then you know, I always take that in consideration and go out there and try to make ourselves better.
5 laps left. Racing is close. The car is running good, but it's getting better. Where do you want to be on that track to put the car in victory lane?
Second place.
Second place?
Yeah. So I consider myself a very patient driver. You know, a lot of
I'd agree with that.
Like, you know, you're so much faster than them. Why didn't you just do it? It's like, well, maybe you're right, but I just I hate being in the lead and not knowing where to go because the track changes so much throughout the race.
It truly does.
You know, I always get shit. They're like, why'd you wait till the last lap? You made me nervous. And they're sitting in the stands. Like, you know, I wait for the right opportunity. If you strike too soon, sometimes that's you throw your cards in and you show your cards and people know where you're at. So I tried to. You can't be patient at all times, but I consider myself a pretty patient driver and semi-aggressive. You know, I'll take chances when I need to, but I've learned, you know, you have 25 laps, you can use all of them. Just try to get the victory lane.
Slide job or crossover? How you doing it?
Typically, I like a slide job to work and have someone not cross me over. So if someone wants to be aggressive and try to slide, you know, send me a slide job, then they'll be, if I can't make the crossover happen, they're going to get slid the next lap. So I kind of figured that out. You know, if I get past and, you know, if I have a chance to pass them back, if I can't cross over, then the next lap they're getting slid back.
That's where that patience comes in. Like, I may not get you now, but I'll get you eventually. Competition or camaraderie? How do you view your opponents out there on the track? Is it kind of, we're all friends in the pits? Strap in, it changes?
Well, it's different in certain aspects, you know. I feel like I'm a little too nice sometimes. I should be a little bit more aggressive, and I think that's one of my faults with racing. But what I think in Missouri with all the racing and the sprint cars, I think we really built a big family. You know, I feel like I can go to anybody in the pits and ask them for something, they're going to help me out. So that aside, when I'm racing, you try not to think about that too much. It's like, well, you know, you might have some words with this person. You're going to exchange middle fingers after the races. But so be it. You're going to see each other next week. So, you know, I want to think of us as a big family, and I think that's what makes it a lot enjoyable, or more enjoyable for everybody to race day in and day out with each other.
What is your dream car? If you're going to go get groceries down the street, what do you want to go get groceries in?
Man, you know, I've had the same truck for about 10 years now or more, and it's on its last leg. But I haven't really thought about getting anything new. You know, I really like classic trucks. I like old trucks, like the 47 to 54 era Chevys, you know, so it's not your typical grocery getter by any means, but if I had something where I could take my friends out and about, then I'd probably buy a Jeep Wrangler from Bryant Motors in Sedalia, not just because they're a sport.
Just pick that sponsor up that you just dropped
exactly.
there.
So I wouldn't mind going and get there a nice whip from their parking lot.
There you go. The people of Hollywood are calling. They're going to make a movie about your life, the ups, the downs, highs, lows. Who's going to play you?
I don't know. I mean, obviously I want something good looking, you know. Kind of spice it up a little bit so people that have met me kind of share that. But, man, that's a tough one. You know, I like a lot of comedy. I wouldn't mind having something like that. But I'd say it'd be tough. I couldn't answer that question right this way. But like I said, I'd like to have someone funny.
Okay, I got you. Is there anything like that feeling of your first win?
You know,
it can be in the different divisions.
My first win, honestly, was kind of surreal. You know, like I said, my first time in a sprint car, it didn't even really feel like it was happening. It didn't sink in right away. But I was pretty consistent with winning in many sprint divisions and go-karts and things like that. Like, not that I'm expected to win, but I want to. Like we thrive really hard and spend a lot of time in the shop and concentrate on trying to win. So we almost feel obligated, like we're going out there to do it.
Right.
There is moments on big races like the Lake Ozark Nationals this last year where you make a last lap pass or 2 passes to go racing with someone like Brian Brown, the California driver. So things like that really mean a lot. And
Is there are there specific tracks that you like more than others? Are you a long track versus a short track guy? High bank, short bank? Does it matter, or is it just racing?
Yes and no. I like the prestige of a track like Knoxville, Iowa.
Right.
It's a beautiful place. They run their program really well, and I just feel like it's a high level. And then you have little tracks like Double X I race every Sunday, which I love also. There are some tracks that I feel like I enjoy, but I'm not a rough track kind of person. So when I go there and I see that it's going to be kind of heavy, then that usually kind of takes a percentage of my chances of really succeeding out there, just because it's a mental game.
Right. Anybody you want to give a shout out to? Just say thanks for helping you in your career.
Yeah, I don't know if the time's long enough for all that, but definitely all my sponsors, my family that's here tonight, my crew chief Chad Seipert, Chad Fuller is helping us out too, my father, it's always at the track. Starline Brass, Shaker Cycle Cells, Kyler Line Builders, Ostrich Power, Don Long from Sears Motor Telephone Company, and I can go on and on and on about our chassis manufacturers, our parts things. But anybody that goes to the races, they know exactly what we're running, and once I thinks all those, and 6 years in a row being a champion is pretty cool.
Pretty impressive.
Enjoy it, and I'm really looking forward to the 2018 season.
Anything in a race car that you haven't done yet? I mean, the talent's there. You're young. You're driven. Any specific class of car you want to race? Is it going to be only dirt? Do we see a chance at asphalt maybe?
Yeah,
Never say never.
You always want to think those things, yes, but come to the realization, I'm really happy racing a sprint car in the Midwest and working at our business right now too. So that's really what makes me happy, and I feel like I fulfill those duties and dreams, and I wouldn't mind continuing that. All
right, 2 questions left. One of them, there's a lot of changes going on this off season. Can you give away what the future is in store for you next year?
Right now, to be 100% honest, we have not discussed what our plans are for the 2018 season. I know Tim Trimble at Lake Ozark has an awesome schedule down there. Larry Hall released an awesome schedule for the ASCS Warrior Region. So I think there's a new track we're racing in West Plains this year, so I definitely want to hit that. I like going to Heartland Park, so I like traveling a little bit, but I really can't tell you concrete what our plans are.
All right, and the final question, the Mount Rushmore of racing. It can be all NASCAR, all dirt, Formula One, a blend of all of them. Just your top 4 drivers of all time.
Well, so I would just do a Mount Rushmore, just because I grew up in the sprint car world.
Yep.
I grew up watching the Pennzoil 22, the Channel Lock 1, the Steve Kinser Quaker State 1. So it's definitely going to have to be those guys. We'll need Steve Kinser, Sammy Swindell, Jack Hottenchild, then you throw in anybody from Andy Hillenberg to Donnie Schatz to Stevie Smith. So, those things to me would be a pretty cool wall painting.
All right, sounds good. All right, that's about all I got for you. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.